You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is November 13th, 2024 meeting of the Michigan City Commission on the Social Status of African American Males. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
All right, I want to welcome everybody to the regular meeting of the Social Status of African American Males. It is Wednesday, November the 13th, 2024. Unfortunately, we do not have quorum, but before we move forward, I'm still going to stand for the pledge. Pastor Carol, can you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, on the roll call, please.
Kenny Klein, Rodney McCormick,
Present.
Stacy Bennett, present. Faye Moore, present. Pastor Dennis Carroll,
Present.
Walter Tony Cox, Tillman, she said
Yes.
that she couldn't make because of her job, so that's an excused absence. Pastor Dwayne Hurt,
Present.
Pastor Robert Johnson, Mike Jones, he said he had a doctor's appointment, but he was gonna try to make it,
Definitely sick.
so that would be an excused absence. Willie Millsap,
Present.
Mike Walker, haven't heard from him. Casey McCormick,
He also
excused absence, something about his job, wasn't his job also?
yes, and Pastor Johnson also
Oh, okay.
sent a letter as well.
Oh, he sent a letter.
I'm sorry, forgive me, correspondence. Thank you.
Nick Pollard,
Present.
Joseph Nelson, council liaison. Nobody heard?
You know, it seems like he ain't never got a meeting.
Okay, so we have present, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we do not have a quorum.
So with that being said, before we adjourn this meeting, we're going to talk, we're going to turn the floor over to Ms. Moore first, but I am going to let everybody know that we will have elections next month, as long as we have a majority who agrees on it, and we're going to move forward, because we cannot wait until next year to start this, because we need to hit the ground running, because we have to turn in a yearly report. We cannot miss it this year. With that being said, I'm going to take the treasury report first. We can't vote on it, but we will listen to the numbers, and then we'll move on.
So I did send out via email the October 2024 Treasurer's Report. We have an ending balance, just FYI, of $3,800.
And it is in your packet, the last page.
Okay, Ms. Moore, social factors?
Social factors, we had agreed on quarterly meetings, so we will meet on November the 20th at 6 p.m. at City Hall in the Mayor's Conference Room. The Mayor's Conference Room is a conference room. You come in the door to your left. It's the Mayor's Conference Room. And we'll meet at 6 p.m. on November the 20th. And I received a flyer from Wayne Miller, it's in your packets, the last page, from Wayne Miller, that there's going to be a Let's Talk About Social Injustice Issues, Health, Crime, and Environment Emergency Community Meeting Friday, November the 15th at 6 p.m. at the Hope Center, 222 McClellan Avenue in Michigan City. It says who's been requested: Michigan City Mayor, Michigan City Chief of Police, parents, clergymen, City Council, and more. Michigan City community, we need your presence. Come out to have your voice heard. That's Friday, November 15th, 6 p.m. at the Hope Center.
With that being said, do we know for sure that the people that's being requested has already accepted?
No, we do not. As a matter of fact, the flyer just went out last night.
Okay, if this doesn't go well, Ms. Moore, because I'm sure you probably be there, I'll be more than happy to have a workshop right here, next month.
Okay.
If they wanna come, and we can come right here to City Hall, and we meet City Hall at City Hall. We'll come to it, we'll come here, so,
But you still have to get, set it up though,
Yes,
don't you?
excuse me.
Ronnie, you still have to set the meeting up.
Yes, all I need is a date, and if
Okay.
it's available, we'll be here.
All right,
I'll make it available,
I'll let you know.
please. And with that, Mr. Millsap, you have something you wanna add before we go off?
Yes, I have my monthly report reference to employment. Would you take one and pass it on?
Yes.
Take one and pass it on. At our last month's meeting, we had the Carpenters Union 1485 give a fantastic presentation along with the check, which we are greatly appreciating.
Thank you.
That program that was described in that last month's meeting, you can apply with Work One. Along with that, what you just received is a current listing of employments in our area from Work One, in addition to signing up for the Carpenters Union 1485 program.
So this is the current list.
This is the current list. Take it, share it with your family, friends, and associates, and always lead or guide your loved ones or family members to Work One. They're there to assist with employment, and all you need is documentation to support who you are, i.e. driver's license, social security, things of that nature, and get yourself assigned to some type of program that they offer. That agency is our lead to employment for residents of this area.
With that being said, we have a quorum now. Thanks for showing
Yeah,
up.
sorry about that.
That's all right.
I tried to get you best I can. You're welcome. No.
So
Sorry.
can we just show that Mr. Fly is here, present?
Squeeze right by you. I'm sorry, brother. Yeah. Sorry about that. Thank you. Yeah,
So we already have yours, we have you. So we're gonna go to,
In addition to that, in the paper, they had Roland Prairie Library this Thursday. It didn't say
Chairman.
exactly what time. The Postal Service hiring at the post for the post office, and they're going to be throughout the state of Indiana on Thursday at various libraries. And for LaPorte County, they had the Roland Prairie Library. I'm assuming it starts at 9 o'clock, and early.
so now that we have a quorum, I'm going to back up a little bit. Thank you, Ms. Moore, forgive me. I'm gonna back up to the treasury report, which was presented, Mr. Fly. We did not have a quorum at first, so now we do have a quorum.
Good thing, man.
Okay, so would you wanna hear the numbers again for the treasury report?
Was it approved? Did you?
No, we had-
approved.
It's in
Come on
here.
with it.
We have a ending balance of $3,800.
Ain't bad.
And I will entertain a motion to accept the treasury report.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? You have it, Ms. Moore?
Was that Kenny Fly said that you need to accept the treasurer's report?
Pastor Hurt,
Oh, Pastor Hood, okay, thank you.
and then,
And it really,
I'll second.
Ms. Moore, did you present the minutes to everyone?
okay, the minutes, there's a packet on your, that everyone has, it has the minutes in it. The minutes went out like, a week after our meeting, and then I believe I resent them last night. But anyway, they are in your packet.
motion to approve.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Moving on from that, we are on to new business. The appointing authority, so I mean, no, I'm sorry, forgive me. We did receive the funds from LaPorte County Council. They gave us $4,000 to keep our mission going. We're doing stuff with the kids here in Michigan City and throughout the county. So I will be picking that check up tomorrow. And I'll make sure the treasurer turns it in to the controller's office. I hope that is a better way that we can try to receive our funds without going through all the hassle that we did the last couple of years. So that money is there for us to pick up, and I will be picking it up tomorrow.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I would like to applaud our Commissioner Cox and Commissioner Benning for putting up a good demonstration of the request for funds. As you can see, it was almost unanimous.
Yes. Yes, thank you, guys. Yes, so we will be meeting, me and Mr. Hurt. Anybody else that want to meet with us, we can just go ahead and meet. We have some plans that we're going to get this money, we're going to use this funds and get things done in the community. So as much as we can with $4,000. I'm grateful that the county council and commissioners seem fit that our board is more than just insignificant. It's significant to some of the people in our community, and I'm grateful to have that. The support of those individuals over in the county. So with that being said, I will move on to our discussion in regards to the amendment of our bylaws. I did reach out to the city attorney. It can be done. Right now, Mr. Nelson is not here again. I don't know if he dropped the ball or not, but it seems as though the stall is happening with him. So I'm going to reach out to the city council president and ask him to move forward with all of our wishes. I assure everybody, I'm only sitting on the subcommittee next year. I will not be on this board in any capacity other than a subcommittee. So I think it's something that needs to be done. Like we discussed, especially when the counties give it, they're putting up money. They're putting skin in the game, and they believe in what we're doing. So, any questions? With that, I'm gonna move on back to employment. Mr. Pollack, is this something you want to add to this? The employment as far as the contract work and all the work we see around the city. How much of it is union job, and how many city workers are even city employee, city residents?
Well, unfortunately, you know, I'm out visiting construction sites every day. And there's some going on in Michigan City that don't even have local contractors on them. When I inquire with the contractor about hiring local, I'm being told that they don't have to. I understand where they're coming from. The city does have a local hiring ordinance. I believe that hiring ordinance says there has to be city money in the project for the ordinance to go into effect. However, if any of the contractors that I work with are doing work in Michigan City, they will respect me and put a city resident to work if I ask them. We need to get more local contractors on these jobs in Michigan City. One of the biggest projects in the city history is going on right now, and they have a contractor coming up from Kansas City. You know, I don't understand this. I thought we addressed all these issues prior to this project starting, and it doesn't seem like any of the things that we requested to happen have happened. You know, yesterday I was at the high school from actually the career fair started at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was there about 7:15. I didn't leave until 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. There was over 1,000 students that come through there, Michigan City residents that I'm talking to about, hey, get into one of the trades. You know, there's a lot of work here in Michigan City, and then stuff like this happens. And if the construction jobs aren't going to local contractors, how am I supposed to put Michigan City residents to work? So I do have a little bit of an issue with that, but we'll work through it.
Mr. Millsap, is there anything you want to add to?
Yes, reference to what you just stated, in your opinion, could we assign like a 3-man committee to discuss with the city reference to the request? From this board?
I don't see why not.
And the logic behind that is to have some constant communication and dialogue going during the process of the construction.
I think that could absolutely fall under the employment committee.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion that we form a 3-member commissioner committee to work with Nick and the city to at least start a dialogue to show our concerns.
I second that. Everyone in favor? Anyone opposed? So let's pick the 3.
I got a question.
There you go.
Oh, did you have something to say?
No, I said I like
It's
that.
volunteering.
He's volunteering. He's one of the 3.
I don't want to.
And myself, and I need one other person.
There it is. It's y'all 3 right there. Oh, you
No,
want
can't
to?
even say, can he talk about something else?
No, Mr. Hurt said he's gonna go.
And then Willie.
Right, that's
And then who's
2.
the third?
I need a 3rd.
That's Nick.
Oh, Nick is the third. I'm sorry.
There you go. There you go.
Sorry.
And by virtue of being chair of the committee, he's always involved.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I will make myself present. As a matter of fact, we've been talking about doing a workshop about the hiring ordinance. And I see it a good opportunity for us, Ms. Moore, to get this all together, even with Wayne Miller, and let's do it all in one and see what we can do. Let's get some refreshments. And if we gotta sit here for a couple hours, I mean, whatever time works for everybody, that's what I wanna do with that. So if we can organize this, and I wanna have this as soon as possible, not next year, we can start this year, and we can do a follow-up next year. And I think meeting quarterly and seeing if we made any progress says a lot, you know? We gotta be consistent, we can't just disappear and come back and show and don't be here. So I just wanna thank you for bringing that back up. I say it again, we have representatives from the 1st Ward to the 2nd Ward, 3rd Ward, 4th Ward. We have 3 at large, and then we have the mayor. Their concern should be the people.
Right.
And I don't want to say nothing that they don't. I'm not saying that they don't care about the people. Maybe it's something that needs to be addressed. And I applaud you for what you just came up with. It might be a communication breakdown. I don't know. Let's try that first before we just start saying anything. But something has to change here. This work. You struggled with it when you was as a commissioner. This hiring practice has to change, one way or the other. So, with that being said, I'm going to move on to. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Fly.
Mr. Polo, Commissioner Polo, you got a job for me? I need a job.
Yeah, anyone do that.
I need a ASAP. I can do something, man. I need some income, man. I'm broke.
We'll talk.
All right, you got a job then. Moving on to education.
Education.
Yes, do you have anything you would like to add? I want to add something here at this time, but Mr. Fly was the first person who brought this to my attention. And wow. I will encourage everyone. I want to thank you, Mr. Fly, because I never even paid no attention. I knew there was an issue with our kids being kicked out of school. From the moment you came to this board, you have always harped that. And you always said that. But it's one thing I never do. If I don't have facts, I'm not going to talk about it. So that's one of the things I want to just lay out there. So my run for the city, for the school board, I did research. And it's Indiana Federal Report Card. It looked just like this. Every school in the district has one. Every school. And I'm gonna pass it around and let everybody see it. But I just want to just talk this last year's numbers. So they won't have this year's numbers until next year. Or anyway, so I just want to briefly say this is out of school suspensions. I just want to read some numbers here. This is for the high school. 487 kids were suspended. At Springfield, 92 kids were suspended. We are in elementaries now. That was Cool Spring. Now I'm in Springfield, 47 kids suspended. Lake Hills, 52 kids suspended. These are all out of schools. I'm at Edgewood, 55 kids suspended. Marsh, 80 kids suspended. Joy, 53 kids suspended. Knapp, 53 kids suspended. Krieger Middle School, 219 kids suspended. Barker, 246 kids suspended.
Need that many kids? That's
Too many. Pine School, 219 kids suspended. The problem that I have here today as a black man, 97% of those kids were African Americans who got suspended. You brought those numbers up, Kenny. You just didn't have the numbers, but you knew because you had the bus going all the time. I'm hoping and praying that things will turn around and change, but we need to have more of an input in what we're doing in the city. Or else let's just get rid of this board. Because we can't talk about the real numbers and stuff that's going on. We ain't got to blame nobody, but we need to be a part of the solution. These numbers are disturbing.
I will ask something for education. I was at a meeting last night for the ministers, pastors, and school superintendent came in. The reason for the meeting is this big ordeal about they have a club now, satanic worship. And so we went to a thing. But as I always do, I open the door for us to get in the school. It's one thing to say that this is happening, but what are we doing to not be able to see what's physically happening while we're there? And if we're in there, you're gonna see what's going on. And it's not the nicest thing to look at. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah, I only been at the high school, and I will say this.
And I'm at the elementary school. It's not a nice thing to look at.
You know, that says a lot coming from you, considering you're involved with the school system. So that means you ain't just, going with trying to tuck the tail.
No. I go with the truth. I go with the facts. And when I see parents come in, give instructions to their children what to do, that's against policy.
Right.
It absolutely makes no sense. So we need to deal with our own sometime too and say, look, we need to hold them accountable and say, we can't have this. This is making us all look bad. So I truly believe our presence makes a difference. If I get a group of grandparents to come into schools and just hang out, that's all you have to do.
Well, the times of the day now is it's kind of like hard, and it's hardships out here, from transportation to getting bills paid and time in this time. I don't think that they inappropriate and that they don't care for their kids or worrying about what's going on. I think it's more or less the hardships of being able to be involved in that, especially as colored people. Even with me driving a bus to pick kids up, we wouldn't even have no kids if I didn't have transportation, because the parents don't have means to take them back and forth and whatnot there. So that's what really kind of made us prosper more, is because of bus transportation. And most of the kids that I did deal with is I turned up school kids, and even from there they get kicked out. And the main reason wasn't because of fighting or bringing guns to school or anything like that. It wasn't because of those main issues that should get you kicked out for a long time. It was more or less the way they was talking to the way the authority talks to them, and that promotes them, and antagonizes them to be like, talking to me like that, but I'm a child and not just trying to get on over there like get on a dog or something. So most time they talk back, and there they go. There go your suspended.
Yeah,
It's twofold.
yeah, and I love what you just.
Absolutely twofold.
Yeah, I love what you just said, and I have Miss Tillman is working at the high school right now too as well, and a lot of the things you going up to this Edgewood, I believe it is. Now, they said your influence is a major role, but unfortunately the last administration, I put in several requests and I never had a call back. I was willing to give 2 hours a day, and I was gonna wear a shirt and tie, just be a greeter, just have a positive day, but no phone calls, But Mr. Fly, what you said is absolutely on point. And to go off of that, when the majority is brown-skinned people, and the teachers only make up African-American teachers or Hispanic teachers only make up 2% of the workforce, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
These are from the Indiana Department of Education. This ain't Rodney McCormick stats. It's just crazy. And I just want to point out one more thing. I also went and got the calls for service. That's a public record. Anybody can get that for for any address. So I put up the high school address. And this is disturbing. One of the calls for service was a sex offense. Another one of the calls was for a suicide or attempted suicide. And then we have another one where it was an overdose. And it goes on and on. And I don't even want to keep reading because I've read them so many times on my live feed that I don't need to read them no more. But fighting is a serious issue as well. Bullying is too. I'm glad that you brought that up because we had one pastor who immediately jumped online and said, oh, no, that ain't true, Doc. That ain't true. It was true because I knew about it 30 days ago that it was putting these classes, some more classes that's out there as well. All we can do is educate our kids because I always said we got education versus the First Amendment. The First Amendment works when you want to have a Satan club. But when I want to have opinion, leave me alone, teacher. My First Amendment gets me kicked out and I get expelled. See, it doesn't work. Something is not working for us when we at this point. So I'm going to leave my comments. I said enough. I just know we got problems. And like I said, I want to be part of the solution. That's why I ran for school board. And that's why I believe Ms. Benny ran for school board. And I ask all of you, we have to play a better role than what we're playing right now. Right now, we're not doing well.
I want to interject my reason for running for school board, which I had a lot of support, overwhelming number of support. So the outcome, I fell short, and it was a little disappointing because I had people from principals and teachers and parents and police and other educators, social service agencies. I had a lot of people. I not only had flyers, and I went to all the churches, black and white churches, went door to door, engaged with neighbors and everybody in the community. I had radio news ads for 7 days, 8 days, twice a day. I had signage. I worked early voting, and I worked same day, election day voting, and then I had people to work the polls for me, also in the rain. So I know that I did my due diligence, but again, it fell short. It was very promising initially, but like I said, it didn't work out that way. But for my platform to run, I was running on several different things. One was safety, because there's a lot of issues with fighting and bullying. In my job capacity, I deal with kids that come in and absenteeism is an issue. They express the reason why they're absent is because they go to school and they're being bullied. They express that, I tell them, follow the chain of command, go to the counselors, go to the teachers, go to the principal. Unfortunately, to no avail, and the kids continue to be absent because they're afraid to go to school because they're being bullied. So that was one issue, the fighting and the bullying. Another issue is literacy. I have kids come into my office, 17-and-a-half-year-olds, almost 18 now.
Wow.
Come into my office, they can't even write they can't even sign their name. They write in block form like they're in first or second grade. Can't even sign their name. These are kids getting ready to be 18. They want to go get a car, an apartment, a loan. They can't even sign a legal document, and that's shameful. Literacy is a problem. We have kids reading at a 3rd and 4th and 5th grade level, and they're 17-and-a-half, getting ready to go into the real world, and then they're being passed along, to graduate, and we're setting them up for failure. And to me, that's very heart-wrenching, because these are our kids. This is our future. Another one is the transparency. I dealt with and spoke to a lot of teachers, and they feel like they're not being heard. They feel like there's a lot of inside things that are going on, and I'm not going to go any further with that, but there's a lot of reasons why I ran, and I felt like I had a different vision to actually be an advocate for the parents and the kids and the educators. So mine is multifold of why I was running. I hope that the people that get in there, they're not just getting in there, they're getting in there and they're being proactive, and they're reaching out to the community and people that are having issues, and they're trying to address these issues. So transparency is key, communication is key. So I just hope that, we can keep it moving.
And I don't know if any of you was watching CNN MSNBC, even Fox News, they covered this. In Philadelphia, there was thousands of ballots that got challenged. It was first-time voters. They couldn't sign their name in cursive, so they had somebody else sign the envelope for them, and those ballots got rejected.
Wow.
It's a challenge still in court right now. Everybody's seen it. This is affecting government. It's affecting our society. This is real what we're talking about.
Going back to your amendment rights.
Yes.
Right? It's affecting your amendment.
Yeah, and here we go. You know, and people take it for granted, you know, and some people don't, you know, I know we have to do better. So with that, we took enough time. Pastor Carroll, something you wanted to add? Because it looked like you had something you want to say.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go to a lot of my constituents and ask them and show them, and then shake their head and they say, we don't know anything about this. We don't know, we never heard this.
Yep. I got that also.
We got that from school board members who did not even do the numbers. And they still, when you do an evaluation, because as a board member, one of your jobs is to evaluate somebody. You only get to evaluate one person. Mr. Fly know this. We all know this. You only evaluate either the ED or the superintendent. It's one of the two, and depending on what side of what board you sit on. In this case, it will be the superintendent. And for me, when you see these numbers from the Department of Education, I wonder, how did you get a bonus? Why did he get a pay raise? It's nothing personal. It's just the job performance. So, and it's kind of funny, and I just want to get this off my chest. It's no disrespect to no pastor, minister, reverend, rabbi, whatever you want to call yourself.
I'm sorry about that, brothers.
You guys are not our saviors. We need to work together.
Yes.
For some reason, we got a person they want to run to the ministers instead of running to the community.
Right.
We in this together. Because if we go look at any church door and open it, there's seats. There's always room at the church. Just like there's always room at the prison. You see what I'm saying? So we keep going, we keep bypassing somebody of authority. A parent has the authority over their child. Why you don't want to meet with the parents?
Right.
Why can we all can't meet in the same room? See, turning your back, getting people to go against other people is not a solution. I might be saying it wrong, and I'm not blaming every pastor.
In the way you are.
Yeah,
Because we requested that he come.
yeah, I'm not.
We asked him to come visit us.
Yes, I'm not saying it's another incident as well, but not just yours. I'm just saying, far as I'm not even saying y'all don't care, but if you do care, you have to talk about the hard numbers. And just because I'm black, don't give me a pass, and don't vote for me because I'm black. If I didn't do my job, don't hire me. Get rid of me. That's how it should work. That's just my opinion, and I'm not saying nobody should be fired, but these numbers make you cry. It's sad, these numbers, but I'm gonna move on with that, Mr. Hurt. I didn't mean no disrespect to any of the pastors.
I mean,
I just want
you
us to
say
all
that,
get together.
but what you're saying is disrespectful.
Yeah, well, I
It's
didn't.
extremely disrespectful because you don't have the information and you say you only speak from the truth. The truth is they came because we requested.
That's
Because we heard
yes.
so much mess that's going on. It's like, let's go to the source. The source for the Michigan City school system is Dr. McCollum. So we had him come and talk to us so we would know what's going on. And in turn, now we pass it on. And you say people don't go to church. That's not my fault.
Yeah,
That's not my fault that you all don't go to church.
correct.
Because I invite everybody to come all the time. So people make choices, and our choices is what gets us into the situations that we get ourselves into. I still say we need to be in the school, because if we're in the school, we can advocate for our children, and we can talk to those teachers that don't know how to talk to our children. That's a big problem right now. They don't know how to talk. So we got disrespect on both sides. We got the kids disrespecting the teachers. We have the teachers disrespecting the children. So now we need somebody that's gonna help bridge the gap. We need to be the bridge
that's going to say, in order to get through to my child, you're gonna have to kind of change things up a little bit. I don't mind challenging people to let them know what I need, what these children need. But if we're sitting from a distance complaining about what's happening there, I don't know what to say. And if they don't let you into school, I don't know what to say because I got in. So I don't know why I got in and you didn't get in.
See, I don't have a problem with that, because my son go to Bowman, my daughter, my daughter,
But it still should.
Tell me when you finish. Tell me when you finish.
It should still, I wasn't finished.
Yes, I said, tell me when you finish. I don't want to forget it.
Look, if we gonna have this attitude, I'm finished. I'm done.
All right, I'm gonna say this again. You can meet with the pastors all you want. I don't know how many of y'all have kids that's in the school, but I got kids in school. I have a niece that's in school. I have grandkids that's starting school now. You gonna meet with somebody, meet with us all. That's all I'm saying. And so far, I have not seen the welcome mat come out to meet with a group of us instead of just a certain group of us. And like I said, it's no disrespect for me, but if you take it as disrespect, please forgive me for my ignorance. I didn't see it. I don't see it that way, but please forgive me. I'm going to continue to say what I say. My son want to play for Michigan City bad, but he said it's just too much going on. I want to hear from Wendell. I want to hear from the school district. You might not ask the questions I might want to ask, and that's that. And it's not nobody's fault for not showing up in church. Some people ain't welcome at. Some people don't feel welcome at the churches. Some people might feel welcome. Some people might think the church is full of BS, right? But at the end of the day, I care about my kids, and I care about other people's kids as well. And I'm gonna keep doing what I have to do, but I want us to meet together as a group, as opposed to separate. And I thank you guys for doing what you did. But it didn't. I'm not criticizing y'all.
Did he meet with us when we asked him to meet with us?
When he was a speaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a speaker.
You came
He was a
Yeah, you
speaker.
told us to catch. You
He
told
was
us
a
to meet.
speaker.
That's what I'm saying. He's meeting with anybody that wants to meet. So I'm missing something. Help me to understand what I'm not understanding. You say he only meets with certain groups, and who do you want him to meet with?
There will be a whole letter going out to the superintendent of schools that will be addressed to him, inviting him to come and speak to everybody, and we'll see if he
Like a
shows up.
town hall or
Yes,
something?
so,
Or-
yes.
oh, okay.
I think, yeah,
I'm sure
Like
he'll show.
town-
I think what the chair's trying to say is invite everybody from the community, not just certain people from the different sectors of the community.
Because what we have to understand too, a lot of the stuff that's happening, I'm gonna go back to this one issue that we were there for yesterday. There legal stuff that's outside of the hands of the school that they can't do anything about. They want that for this not to happen. But if you have a club that's in the school, you gotta welcome the rest. And so you know what the only option is? Cut out all
Get
the
rid of
clubs.
all of them.
And this group would love that because they're seeking attention, and they tell you, we are here to seek attention. We are not Satan worshipers, but we use that name so that we can get attention. They're atheists. Atheists are not Satan worshipers.
They just don't believe in God.
Yeah, they don't believe in God, but they use this so that they can get to us and have us fighting internally so that we'll stop doing what we need to do collectively to get done what needs to be done. We can preach and talk all we want to, but if we don't get out there and do it, and we gotta watch. Let me tell you something. I went to Knox and I worked in Knox for 8 years as a black man at the post office. When I was going, they say, oh no, you don't want to go to Knox, that's Klan country. If I had gone down with a certain attitude, I guarantee you they would have gotten me. Love is it covers a multitude of all the sin and mess that develops. And when I went in with the approach of godly love, even to these folks that may even think they hate me, some of them don't even hate me because they don't even know me. But as they got to know me, that was the best assignment I had at the post office. At the post office for 27 years, with the government for 37 years. Knox was my best assignment because people gave me a chance to know me
as opposed to what you say, the preachers. And I've told you this before, I never want to be grouped in a category with preachers. I am Dwayne Hurt. Dwayne Hurt operates totally different because I'm the son of Robert Hurt, and Robert Hurt taught me the truth and how to deal in the truth, and he let me know, don't fake this thing, don't play with it. If you don't want to do it right, go sit down somewhere. And I listened to him, and because of that, I can now go anywhere, I can talk to anybody. But if we go with the wrong attitudes when we're trying to talk to people, we blocked out from the beginning. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna be the nicest person you ever seen in your life. And you're gonna have to deal with me because I'm nice, and you can't use the excuses that you used to use because they come in here, they got this attitude and they want me to talk to them. Oh no, I'm gonna be real sweet to you. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. But you don't have to call me, I'm sorry, that's my approach, that's how I do everybody. I call children ma'am and sir. And so when you go in a certain manner, you can ensure that you're gonna get respect from folks.
Yes.
Because you're respecting them. And that's all I'm trying to say.
To a certain degree, you're right. Times have changed. No, I was just saying times have changed.
Yeah, okay.
You know, more non-colored people help you quicker than your own colored people. I'm a witness to that.
I'm telling you, I was there for 8 years. I could go out. I was told the first day I walked into the post office, a Hispanic guy looked at me, he said, don't ever go into this housing development behind here. And I didn't wait for a response because it really didn't matter. My first lunch hour, that's exactly where I went. It was not a challenge. It was just, God has protected me thus far. Why would he stop protecting me now? And I had to come. I didn't want to go down there. And I went. And so sometimes we have to go in places we're not accustomed to going into. But again, watch how we go in. And when we do that, we're going to get what we need.
Well,
and I still love you, Doctor.
yeah, I love you too. Yeah, what you said to me is, I appreciate what you said. You have your right to your opinion. I have a right to my opinion.
Right.
I'm not going to tear yours down. I hope that you don't try to tear mine down. But if you do, I'm going to build it right back up because I'm confident about what I'm seeing today.
Okay.
And what I'm saying today is, my approach has never been about the Satan Club. Because it could be, the Satan Club could be there. If our kids can't spell Satan, I ain't worried about them learning about Satan. Well, our kids have we have trouble in school with these numbers, where we have 90.5% of our kids graduating with a waiver. I have a problem with that. And those are the things that we need to address. I know kids who cannot read and write at a 3rd grade level that's graduated who has a general diploma. I'm going to continue to stay on my message and on my course. If we can come together, we can change stuff sooner than later. These numbers shouldn't be hid from nobody, because it took a lot of work. And Linda Turner from the Indiana Department of Education, thank you, because she was the one who sent me the information and gave me the direct link to where I can look at all these numbers. And I don't want to talk about the nation because I don't live in the nation. I live right here in Michigan City. And I just think that it's time for some accountability. Because one person that did know, the superintendent of schools, knew these numbers and what they really was. And like Westfield School, they got their numbers right on their website. You go to Westfield Schools, all those numbers pop up automatically. Michigan City, you gotta go through all. You gotta jump this hurdle, climb underneath that break, and then go over here. You gotta go a long way to find it. And again, I want them to come and talk to us. And I'm gonna always have the same approach. I wanna know, what are you doing to address these issues that we have in our community where our kids can't read and write at a 3rd grade level? That's all I care about. The Satan Club wasn't even my hot topic. You know what I'm saying? I can see where y'all came in on your side of it, all of y'all coming together and trying to get the answer to the solution. And I appreciate that. But again, as a parent, I want to know more. And I think it's other parents who want to know what's going on as well. I ain't with all the book club, ban this book, ban that magazine. I ain't with none of that. I want to know why our kids are failing the way they are failing. And those numbers have been hidden the way they have. But that's that. You know, I think we all on the same page. I do. I really believe that. But it's nothing personal. I'm going to move on to health. Pastor Johnson is not here. I'm just going to encourage everybody, go get a prostate exam. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't think, oh, I feel good, everything gonna be okay, and you don't go get it and you get the news when you 58, 60 years old, you got prostate cancer and it's gone too far. So I encourage everyone to please go get a breast, go get a, I was gonna ask you about that, mammogram, but go get a prostate exam as soon as you can. And then for the women, mammograms, what does that need to be done every year?
Yes. If you're over, typically it used to be over 50, but now they've reduced the age to 40.
Oh,
So all women over that age, and some of them younger than that if they have a history in their family, where there's a history of breast cancer in their family, they may get a referral to do it sooner, but definitely over the age of 40 every year.
So anybody else want to add anything for help? Moving on, criminal justice, Ms. Tillman is not here. Anybody want to add something to criminal justice?
well, I hate for it to go without nothing on criminal justice. That's really hot topic, criminal justice.
I will add one thing, if you don't have nothing to add. We had somebody bring up at the Board of Works meeting that the city has now finna install 30 more flock cameras, I believe. That's what they call them. So they finna add 30 more cameras. This person who spoke up on behalf of everybody feel like our privacy is going to be invaded. It didn't start off to be like this. We didn't vote to have license plate readers, but we have all that stuff now. And we do know Flock is being used to prevent or resolve other crimes as well. So it's a slippery slope. Technology is, again, technology is something different. If you know in the wrong hands, it can be bad. In the right hands, it can be good. So I just want to add that to it. And again, that's all I can add. You want to add something to it, Mr. Flynn?
I was trying to think heavily because we only be here once a month with criminal justice. With myself being just a regular person in society, mostly on the poverty side of the area that I live in, I haven't seemed like the gunshots has lessened up. I don't hear them as frequent as I used to maybe a year ago. I don't know if it's due to Flock or not, but I'm just saying, used to be a lot of youth shootings continuously, like once a month. And now I rarely hear a lot of shots, in our area. Maybe you in Canada and you're our area, so I don't know. You guys, at one point in time, we hear gunshots at least once a day,
Yes.
That system does help, because it helps them to respond faster. It used to be it takes 4 or 5 minutes to get to the spot. Now if you can cut that in half or even less than that, response time, and so people know that if I do it, the chance of me getting caught is much greater.
Oh, you think that young nigga think that? I thought maybe it was just the lessened up of gunshots because the more attention that's been brought to it. First we really wasn't paying a lot of attention to them youngsters doing that, but when the whole neighborhood and we all got involved and started saying, we got to do something, somebody need to start, and so I think they start catching a hold, like they getting, they really concerned, and so they probably think twice, but I don't hear it as much. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I agree with you. I will add to this. I was told that I haven't been out there, but I heard that they knocked down the Lakeland shot spotter in the camera system out in what's this place out there? Lakeland Estates. Lakeland Estates.
Yeah.
I heard the cameras is on the ground, and nobody's been out there. But I don't know. I can't 100% say it, but there's some issues going on, but it does help. It really do help, but it's being used for other things other than just the shot spotter as well. But that's here nor there. I'm gonna move on if anybody don't have nothing else to add. We've been over social factors, we've been over everything else. We got public comment. So I just leave that. Any commissioner wanna add any last closing statement?
I believe that what Pastor said, I don't like to be called preaching. I don't like to be called preaching. Preaching to me is pointing the finger and saying, this is what's wrong with you and this is what you got to straighten up. My idea of being a godly man is showing the demonstration of love. Love. What is love? What is love? Love is compassion. Love is reaching out. I had a couple months ago, I had a young man come up to me, and he was crying. He had some tears in his eyes. And he looked at me and he said, "I'm black." I said, "Yeah, I see that. I mean, what's your point?" His point was, "I'm black. Do you love me?" I had a talk with that man. He said, "You're a preacher. You don't love me." I said, "I'm a man of God, and I love you." But he didn't understand until I put my arm around him. And I began to weep and cry for him because my heart was broke for him. I could see he had nothing. I could see he came from out on the street. I could see that. He didn't have to tell me that. But love is sharing. My heart was broke. A preacher is not a preacher. That's not even in the equation. But showing the presence of God's love and loving one another. Why do you think I'm here? Why do you think I've been here for all these years? I've been here, my Lord, I'm 80 years old. I've been here when I was a young man on this board. Why? Because I love everybody. I love everybody. And I'm going to show respect to everybody. And I think when our children begin to see us begin to weep over them, they begin to see something substantial. Something that means something. Wait a minute. This white man is crying over me? It makes a greater impact when you have a heart of love. And that's what Pastor was speaking about, I believe. I believe. Because I know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Whether you come to my church or not, it doesn't matter. I love you wherever you're at. That's all I got to say.
I hear you. Thank you. I hear you.
Thank you for your words, Mr. Commissioner Powell.
So I'm glad you said that because that's kind of where I was going with my final comments. We're 1 week removed from the election. You talk about the bullying in the school, you talk about love, and yet the majority of this country voted for somebody that just stands up there and outright talks about breaking the law and treating people wrongly. And that's a problem. As a father of 3 young daughters, some of the stuff that man has talked about, I take personally, and if anybody ever does that to any of my kids, you know, we talk about criminal justice, that'll be me, because I don't condone that. I can't believe that people in this country support somebody that acts that way. And that's a problem. So when our children see this person or any of these elected officials that act that way on TV, bullying other people in public, they're just emulating what they see. You know, so I think that's a problem, and it needs to change. If we want to change, you know, our kids and their behaviors, we as adults need to show them how to act. And it's not happening. That's all I got.
Pastor Hurt, do you have anything you want to add? Commissioner Fly.
Yeah, I just want to put out there, Mr. Wendell, my cousin, we are waiting for some food, okay? A Fly Youth Service down the school program. We still hungry over there. Y'all food, MCH, Mississippi Area Schools, y'all help branch out and help give us some food, brother. Yeah, that's all.
Ms. Moore,
I have nothing.
Ms. Benny,
I have nothing.
Mr. Middlesex.
Nothing.
And I'm just gonna close with this. Education versus First Amendment. There's a slippery slope there, and again, everybody don't understand it, but that First Amendment is powerful. But it should apply in every aspect of what's going on in our society. Thank you, Mr. Pollack, for your words, Mr. Hurt, and Mr. Commissioner. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Yep, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you. I'm gonna call this meeting, but I'm gonna call the meeting back to order. And I just wanna make sure we go on the record, because we didn't have a quorum in the beginning. So I'm gonna go back. I will entertain a motion. We'll have a discussion in regards to having an election for next month. So we can go start the beginning of the year with the officers in place.
I have those dates for you too, for the chairs and when their terms expire.
Okay, we can deal with that on after this. So we will have a motion. I will entertain a motion to have election next month.
An election at the next meeting.
Second. With that, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, we will have the election, and the office holders will take seats the beginning of the year. Thank you.
So who expired?